It is the start of the third week of school. We also have open house tonight. So this is our little scientific method choice menu. I absolutely love how this is a visual of how our day is structured. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another day in my classroom. It is the start of the third week of school. We just came back from having a hurricane day yesterday, and even though South Florida was spared, my heart is very heavy for all the people in the Bahamas. So my thoughts and prayers go out to them, and we're doing things in our community to help relieve them in some way or another, whether it's with donations, food donations, water donations, anything that they need. So if you like to help, I will try to put a link down below of some organizations that are accepting donations to be able to provide some kind of relief to the people in the Bahamas. Me being a Puerto Rican, my fellow Puerto Ricans went through something similar not that long ago with Hurricane Maria, which was devastating for the island, and it is the same thing in the Bahamas. So that information is in the description box below. All right, so without further ado, I need to let my kids in and start the day. Today is Wednesday, it's an early release day, but we also have open house tonight. Yes, even though we came back from a Labor Day weekend, 3-day weekend, plus a hurricane day, and today is our first day back at work since last Friday, we have open house tonight. So we're just gonna roll with the wave and make it be the best it can be. All right, catch up with you later. We've now made it to lunchtime, and the students have been very busy this morning, being so productive, trying to finish all of their work. So the first thing was for us to finish our daily language arts warm-up that I get from One Stop Teacher Shop. And we didn't get to do Wednesday, Thursday last week. So that's what we were doing this morning. And then tomorrow we'll do the one from this week, Monday, Tuesday. And then on Friday, we'll do Wednesday, Thursday. So they did that. Then I gave them back a lot of different assignments that they needed to finish, including their summer short story, their favorite Florida symbols, and their science comic strip. I was able to conference with a lot of students on their summer short story so they can take it to final and they can put it on their shorts template. And hopefully I can get most of those up on my bulletin board, because being that tonight is open house and I was counting on yesterday, but we got a hurricane day. But I was counting on yesterday to have them finish those assignments so that I can have work on the boards and the parents can kind of see the work, because my boards, I keep them empty for student work. So that's what they were working on. Hopefully, like I said, I have a couple of them that I can just put up and show for display and put the headers for those boards as well. So Wednesdays, I don't really have a planning time. So I'm going to spend a lot of time once the students are dismissed on working on all the final preparations to have the room ready for parents to come tonight, along with making final tweaks and updates to my open house presentation. So I'm gonna have my lunch right now, and I will share with you more of what we end up doing for the rest of the day. When they come from lunch, we're gonna work on math and then on science, and then we'll end for the day. For English this morning, they were working on their trifold, their foldable for the Princess and the Pizza, to make sure that they have it completed. And yeah, just trying to get all this work done because we're a little bit behind on finishing those assignments. So that's what we're doing. All right, let me eat and I'll see you after school. Hello, everyone. It is way past dismissal. I have been busy working, getting the classroom ready for open house. The parents will be here in about 20 minutes. I'm making final edits to my PowerPoint because I realized today that the one that I used last year got erased. Because, or not got erased, but I lost it because my previous hard drive got corrupted and it can't be read, and I lost a year's worth of work. So I have been recreating little by little. Good thing that last year I did film a video where I went slide by slide on what was on my open house PowerPoint. So I've been kind of referring to that video to kind of make sure I have all the talking points that I want to have in my presentation. So I'm trying to finish that right now. But I wanted to give you a look of the classroom. I put up work on the boards, and I also rearranged the desk in a different way. And I added some new little things that I got from Five Below to our living room area with the couch. So let me show you. So first and foremost, you can see that is our English and language arts board, and that has the summer short story, which is a resource that I sell. This is our social studies board and has our Florida favorite symbols, or our favorite Florida symbols. And that is something I created, but it's not on my store yet. Maybe I'll put it sometime soon. And then on the back, that is our math board. So that has their math all about me. And this is our science board, and it has all of the scientific method comic strips that were completed. Students are still working on that one. And that is the mess that I still have to sort through and get rid of, etc., etc. But this is the new arrangement for the desk. So I have one group of 5 here and another group of 5 here, a group of 5 in the middle, and the same thing that I have over here, I put over there. So a group of 5 there for blue team and a group of 5 there for purple team. And I did clear out the drawers, the 3-drawer cards, and I put their junior grade books on top to let the students know what team is which, because I did stack the chairs, because this is how they need to make sure they leave the room when they leave at the end of the day. Fold their chair pockets and put it, let me go on the other side, inside of the top drawer. So their chair pockets go here. In the morning, they take it, they unstack a chair, they put their chair pocket on the chair, etc. This is our little couch and living room area. I bought this denim rug, super cute, $5 at Five Below. I wanted a rug here in the front, and that's perfect. I do have to offset the couch to the stage because of the way that the desks are. There's this part of the couch here in the back that I don't want to get in the way of the kids. And I bought these containers from Five Below, also $5. This one I will put the clipboards that the kids will need when they come up here. And this one houses our blanket, which they can also put pillows in here when they're sitting here so that it's easier for them. So that's our little cute little living room couch area. And that's basically a view of how the room currently looks. Yep, some kids left their lunch bags. And yeah, Peaceful Palace is back there. And all their boxes are over there. I still have 4 students I need to present. And this is what we were working on today in math, their Math About Me inside their math notebook. But yeah, I've been very busy trying to get ready for open house. I could have done other things that I did last year, like the little notes for the parents to leave their kids. Instead of printing them out, I'm just gonna have index cards and give an index card to all the parents who come in so they can leave their note. No time to make it all cutesy. It's just, let's get it all done. And we're just gonna do our best, right? Because we didn't expect to lose a day and all that jazz. So let me wrap up on the last few slides of my PowerPoint presentation for tonight's open house and get our superintendent's message up so I can show it to the parents when they come in. And yeah, now I have like almost 15 minutes. So let me hurry up and get that done. And I will catch up with you afterwards to let you know how it went. The room is all ready to go. I dimmed the lights and I turned on our floating candles. So it's all nice and ambient. I did turn on the little fountain in our Peaceful Palace and the fairy lights in the jar. Yeah, that's the room ready for the parents to come in. I will ask them to just unstack the chairs and sit where they like. In the past, I will have a little person here that looks like this under a desk so the parents can guess whose desk is whose based on the clues, but we didn't have time to do that because of the hurricane day and because they were catching up on work that they needed to finish. So I can still give them this person and change this up, like this is me or the best part about me or something like that. I don't know. So this is something that I have created. So we don't have it this year for open house, but that's okay. We're gonna roll with it and do what we can. All right, it's time to open the door and let the parents in. I know they have some kids with them as well. And let's get open house ready, and now I'll definitely catch up with you afterwards. All right, everyone, open house is now over, and it was a huge success. So a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. The parents were very happy with all the information I shared, which I am now going to save that PowerPoint as a PDF file and share it on my Dropbox, and then share the link on Dojo and on Remind so that all the parents have access to the PowerPoint and they can closely read any slides that I may have maybe gone through too quickly, or maybe the wording was a little small, so they can really take a look at it themselves. So now I'm just turning off all my lights. I just finished stacking all the chairs again. I wanted to show you something really neat that I created for science, which we're probably going to use tomorrow, and just to culminate the scientific method. And if I do find the time, or somewhat, if you're interested in me putting this in my TPT store, I will. So basically, I wanted to differentiate instruction with the scientific method in science. And one of the ways that I learned to differentiate or enrich instruction was to use choice menus or choice boards. I created a choice menu for the scientific method, and I'd like to show it to you right now. So this is our little scientific method choice menu. They will write their names there and the date. And when we open it up, it says, welcome to the Science Cafe. Please look over the menu and make your selections. You will need to choose one appetizer, one main dish, and one dessert. Bon appetit. So they have 3 options for appetizers. They can either write a tweet explaining the scientific method, 280 characters or less, which is the new limit on Twitter. Draw a picture on an index card that represents the scientific method and write a caption for it. Make a list on an index card of each step in the scientific method. So they'll choose one of these 3 activities, whichever one appeals to them best. Then they'll choose one main dish. They will either write a paragraph explaining how the scientific method helps scientists learn about the natural world, or create a poster showing what the scientific method is and how it helps scientists learn about the natural world. And the last choice, write a song or rap about the scientific method explaining what it is and how it helps scientists learn about the natural world. So they will, again, choose one of these 3 options. And for desserts, they can either complete a scientific crossword puzzle, a scientific method, I should say, crossword puzzle, which I got years ago for free on a website. It's called Methods of Science. The only thing that I need to add to this is a word bank so that they know what words they need to use. And these are the clues. So I thought that would be one fun option for dessert. Another option is to write a short poem about the scientific method or create and perform a short commercial explaining the scientific method. So that is a little choice menu. And along with that, I did create these new Twitter slips of paper that I'm going to cut. So if they choose to tweet about the scientific method, they can just get one of these and write their tweet. @ will be their first name. Posted on will be the date they're posting it or doing it. And then the hashtag, whatever hashtag is related to their tweet. So I thought this was really cute. And this is what I created for the scientific method choice menu. Yeah, just adding some fun to that and also finding different ways to differentiate learning and have the students choose things that maybe appeal to their interests or their learning modalities. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here because I'm already pulling an over 12-hour shift. I came in this morning around 7:15 and right now it's 7:30. And the last time I ate was around 11:35 a.m. So yeah, I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna relax, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. So today I can't decide which lanyard to use because I have 2 Lily Pop lanyards that kind of go with my outfit. So the first choice is the Tropicana lanyard that I have here. Kind of matches my dress. But the other one that I have, it's a new one that I haven't worn yet. It's her cactus one that kind of also matches. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of matches my dress. So trying to decide, but I'll make a decision. I was thinking maybe I'll wear one half the day and the other one the other half of the day. We'll see, not sure. So it's time to let the kids in and get our day started. And I will catch up with you later. All right, everyone, so it's now lunchtime and I already ate. I'm about to go pick up the students soon, but I'm going to start a cup of coffee on my little, sort of like a cheaper version of Keurig that I got from Walmart for only $19.99, like last year. And I have some Starbucks coffee. I have the French roast or the cinnamon dolce, and that's what I'm gonna brew right now, cinnamon dolce, because I am really still tired from being here last night till 8, but it's all good. And we've been having a really great morning. We did math this morning, and the students went to art. Then they went to lunch, and now they'll come back for recess. And after recess, we'll have the last 4 students present their cereal box autobiography, and then we'll continue on in the day. And I'll catch you up with what we end up doing because I have a new activity to go along with one of our reading lessons. All right, so catch you later. It is now way after dismissal. I've been here chatting and talking and working and all that stuff. But I wanted to catch you up on what we ended up doing for the rest of the day since I last saw you during lunch. So the students at recess, I had the last 4 students present their cereal box autobiographies, and then the kids wanted me to present mine, so I did that as well. And after that, we started with our reading. And in reading, we read the paired selection for Wonders Unit 1, Week 1. This is the last week that we're in that unit. And the students also took their selection test for the main selection, The Princess and the Pizza. After that, they started reading Thomas and His Sons, and we did a complete read. We were completing the story map that I created. I don't know if I showed you, but this is what it looks like. So this is the story map. We went over who the main character was. We started going over the where of the setting. We're going to talk about the when. And this is a flow map that shows the sequence of events, which they will complete tomorrow. And then on the back, we didn't have time for it today, but they will create a double bubble, which is a thinking map to help compare and contrast. We're going to compare and contrast The Princess and the Pizza with Thomas and His Sons. And then here's where you take it to higher order. After we do this, they're going to answer, so what? Why is all this important? What do we learn from this? Why did we end up doing this? And so forth. So that's what we ended up doing for reading. Then for writing, the students were working on finishing their summer short story and their first memory writing that they worked on that I need them to wrap up and finish so I can assign grades. And after that, we started going over the scientific method choice menu that I showed you yesterday. And there were a lot of kids that chose the tweet about the scientific method. I want to say about 10 of them. Some of them chose the color index card. They chose the color that shows the steps of the scientific method. And then some of them chose the white index card. They could do it this way, or use the line side, which they had to draw a picture related to the scientific method and give a caption. And I show them the crossword puzzle, etc. But this is our choice menu, and they absolutely loved this. Now, of course, we didn't have time to finish, but this is a project that they'll continue to work on tomorrow and probably until next week. And yeah, it's great that they have different options that they can choose to see which way they want to show their understanding of the scientific method. Now, one of the main dishes is that students can either write a song or rap about the scientific method. And one of them said, well, Ms. Sanchez, that's really hard to write a rap. I'm like, let me show you. So we went to vocabulary. I had them watch the scientific method vocabulary video, and then I showed them about the lyric lab, and I composed this quick little rap, and then show them how vocabulary gives you some different background music so that you can perform your rap, which was awesome. So let me show you what I created. So the neat thing about vocabulary is that they give you kind of like the directions, the show steps up here. I'm going to hide the steps. But as soon as you write your first line, it gives you suggestions on your second line for words that rhyme with that last word. Now, method is highlighted because these are some of the vocabulary words that students can use that were related to the video and also to the topic. And I used 2 so far. I can continue the rap and obviously add more, but this is the rap that I created. And the cool thing is that once you write the rap, and I went all the way down here, you can select which music you want as your background music. And I'm just going to stick with Epic so that you can hear this. So it starts out like that. Let me lower the volume a little bit. I'm going to try my best to kind of do this. Let's see. Scientists use an awesome method that caused them to be respected. It's the great scientific process which helps them simply express how the world works, and it's full of steps. These steps help them navigate whether the hypothesis is appropriate. Follow along and you will see how you too could be a scientist ASAP. Something like that. But anyway, it's pretty fun. And the students obviously loved the lyric lab. And I can't wait to see who does choose this as one of the activities for their main dish. And I will love to see them perform their raps in front of the class if they choose to do that as well. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, the other thing that I worked on today, which you saw clips of me working on and creating, was finally getting my schedule slips on my schedule chart, which I was never able to do last year or the year before, but now they're there. I'm gonna show you, they're right next to our calendar. And I wanted to use like a pastel kind of rainbow. And my color printer is low on certain colors, so some colors are not showing up as I want them to. So you're gonna see that some colors look like they're the same, but they're not really supposed to. It's just how they came out. But this is how the schedule looks now. This was our schedule for today, Thursday, and I'm about to change it for tomorrow, Friday, and I have the extra slips here so that they can color coordinate with the time slots as well. So I absolutely love how this is a visual of how our day is structured, which helps me stay structured and also helps the students know how their day is being organized. So love, love, love this. So I'm gonna now set it up for Friday and show you how that schedule looks. And here is our schedule for tomorrow. We have PE as our special. Everything pretty much is the same as today, except for the fact that our special is different. So we have PE, and then after recess, they have Spanish, and we end the day with social studies instead of science. So that is our schedule. Oh, and by the way, I ended up keeping my Tropicana lanyard all day long. I showed the kids the cactus one. I was gonna wear it for half a day, and one of my students was like, no, you need to wear it tomorrow the whole day. So I'm going to try to find a t-shirt that is either magenta or green so I can match with that. So let's see what I end up finding. So that's all I have for you for today, Thursday. Now let's go on to Friday. Good morning, welcome to Friday. So today I am wearing my Keep On Teaching On shirt from Educators to Educators, which matches the cactus lanyard from Lily Pop. And I'm getting ready to welcome the students in and get our day started. So let's get to it and I'll catch up with you later. The students are now in PE. Just before PE, we finished having a lightning round with a math review that we're doing. We spent time this morning on going over the daily math warm-up that we were trying to catch up because this was a 3-day week. So today we were actually catching up on that and completing it, doing Wednesday and Thursday. And we went over those. And then after that, I gave them a little review for chapter 1, lessons 1 through 4, so that they're ready to take their mid-chapter checkpoint, which I'm actually going to take some time from reading this afternoon so that they can finish. I just went ahead and looked at what each of those lessons, the 4 lessons, had, and created some problems to go over it, including vocabulary, because they need to know the vocabulary as well. And I created this quick review that they are now finishing. When we come back, they're going to come back and finish the rounding portion, but this is what it looks like. So I projected it on my board because I did create this on PowerPoint, so I did it like play show. And I have one of those Promethean boards that you can actually write on with a dry erase marker. They just wipe right off. And I had different students come up and do matching the meaning of the math vocabulary. Then we did comparing numbers, writing numbers into other forms, place value, and when we come back, they're gonna do rounding. Now, there is a large gap in the middle of our Fridays where the students are in different classes or doing other activities. So I'm not going to actually teach them again until 12:05. And right now it's like almost 9:50. I'll take some time from reading for them to finish with the rounding problems and then complete their mid-chapter checkpoint. So hopefully this is a good review so that they can do well on their chapter checkpoint. Now, there's something that I forgot to tell you that I am doing to help us with our interactive math notebooks or any interactive notebook. I needed a system to kind of organize it better so that it doesn't take us a lot of time to distribute all the papers and the tape dispenser that the students use to put the papers in their math notebook. I use tape because I prefer it over the glue stick. After a while, the pages that you stick on with glue stick, they tend to fall off, and I don't use staples, obviously, and I also don't use liquid glue, but this is what I use. So these are all the tape dispensers that I have gathered over the year or over the past 2 years. What I ended up doing was I bought these containers from Dollar Tree. They're in the kitchen section. They look like this, and they're the perfect size for me to put the papers that go in their math notebooks, whatever we're adding. And what I usually do is I'll prep it with how many papers the group needs, and I'll put 2 tape dispensers in there so the students can share, and then just easily give this to the teams. So that makes it a lot better with organizing the papers that we're putting in our notebooks so that it's easier to get that all done. I also forgot to mention that I changed a little bit about how we use our cubby system. So now the cubby system is only for book bags because it creates kind of like high traffic when they're going to lunch or going to specials before lunch where they need to take their lunchbox or their water bottles and they keep it in the cubbies. It's just a mess. So I decided to use these crates, that I am placing by the teams, and that's where they put their lunch bags and their water bottles. So here's one crate for these two teams that are here. And up here, we have a team in the middle, and that's their crate. Just gotta move it over. And over here is the other crate for the last two teams, and that's where they keep their lunch bags and water bottles, and only book bags are allowed in the cubbies now, and they're not allowed to go in their book bags until the end of the day when it's dismissal. So it's very important that when they are unpacking at the beginning of the day, they take out everything they think they'll need for that day so that they don't need to go into their book bags at any time during the day, because that creates a big distraction. And sometimes they like to do that when we're like lining up and going somewhere, and I don't leave kids behind in the classroom, so it takes time for that. So I'm trying to just create systems that are going to help us easily flow in and out of the classroom. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you right now. I'm going to go ahead and do some planning, get ready for next week, lesson plan, etc., and I will catch up with you later. It's now the end of the day, way past the end of the day. I actually have just kind of asked a lot from my son and his girlfriend, who are just waiting for me. I'm sorry, guys. It's okay. But I just finished updating my grade book, which was a tremendous task that I needed to make sure I completed today. One of the goals that I have this year is that I am going to be on top of my grading so I don't leave it for last minute. And I have been very successful so far. And I guess I wouldn't have had so much to grade if I didn't miss my planning time last week, which we understand the beginning of the year, there's changes in the schedule and they still are working on things. So this week I did have my planning yesterday and today, which was great. And I was able to plan for next week and do some other planning, lesson planning, and also meet with some of my teachers during planning time. So that was great. And yeah, I just finished updating the grade book, and now every subject has at least 3 grades because this is the end of the 3rd week of school. And even though it was a short week, we ended up doing a lot this week, as you saw in the previous day's vlogs, and I'll let you know what we ended up doing in the afternoon. But yeah, I feel great. Having updated my grade book, I am coming to you from our couch. I'm just laying down and sitting down here. And I want to show you some of the things that we finished doing after I last saw you. So let's get to that. When we came back from lunch, the students were having recess and then they had their Spanish. And after Spanish, they finished the review that I showed you previously. We rounded those numbers. And after that, I gave them back some papers that they needed to correct for lesson 1.3. And I conferenced with students one-on-one to make sure that whatever they were not understanding, that they understood. Then I gave them the mid-chapter checkpoint. After that, I went over the mid-chapter checkpoint. I just finished grading them, and I think overall the class did pretty well. I didn't get the average, but I'm pretty sure it's over 70%, and I'll do that next week. But that's where we strive for, to make sure the whole class average is 70% or above 70%. So I think it's good. I do have to now meet with certain students, so I did use that information to create groups. And I'm going to have a small group kind of session, I think, on Tuesday. Because on Monday, I need to teach them about comparative relational thinking, which I know is kind of difficult for them to understand. So I want to spend a good day on that. So that'll be Monday. Tuesday, I was planning to do the chapter test. But after seeing the mid-chapter reviews, I still need to make sure I meet with some students that are not understanding basic place value concepts. And I want them to understand it as best as possible so that they can do well on the test. So I'm moving the test to Wednesday. So that's what I'm going to plan to do. Then after that, we had reading, and they finished the paper for Tomas and his son. So I'll show you that right now. So this is the sheet that I showed you yesterday. And they finished figuring out when was for the setting. And then they use this flow map. I love thinking maps. To give me 4 events. This was my example that I showed them after their time was up. And I was going to collect their papers. And then on the back, we decided to do the other thinking map, which is a double bubble, where we compared and contrast the main selection, the princess and the pizza, with the paired selection. And they were able to give me 5 similarities that were really good. Sometimes they would tell me something like, oh, both stories deal with food. I'm like, well, thank you. That's a surface level answer. I want us to go a little bit deeper. So that's how we were able to come up with the 5 similarities and then 4 differences. And then we took it to the higher order thinking, so what? Why is all this important? Why did we just finish comparing these 2 stories, and what does this information give us? And they came up with, this is important because we can see important similarities in 2 stories that seem very different. Because the princess and the pizza was a fairy tale and Thomas and his Sons was a fable. And one seemed more realistic than the other, but they had many differences according to what we were learning this week. Then we started social studies, which we didn't have a lot of time for, but I was able to do so much with that. I basically told them what chapter 1 was about in a gist. So I introduced the 4 social sciences and the hats for the social scientists that they will eventually put in their social studies notebook once we start setting it up on Monday. And then I told them, but that's not all. You're going to engage in an activity, which is a fun sort. And last year I did it like a competition to see which team would do it the quickest. And this is what it is. If you didn't see that vlog from last year, this is what I had created. I basically use these snack containers from Dollar Tree. Sometimes you get them 3 for $1 or 2 for $1, but when they're 3 for $1, definitely grab them. I have them in different colors, and I happen to have them by the color of each team. So each little box has these headers, which are the 4 social scientists. So we have the historian, the economist, the political scientist, and the geographer. And then they have these picture cards that they have to work as a team to decide which one they best belong to. So a voting sign will go with the political scientist, for example. A sale advertisement will go with the economist. The same as McDonald's, okay? Civil rights bill becomes law, that's political scientist. And then we have Zora Neale Hurston, that's historian. We have a bird's nest, that would be the geographer, etc. So they have all of these different cards in here. They're just pictures that I got from Google. I just searched different things. And they have to sort it according to which social scientist will be most connected to. So that's what we ended up doing quickly. I just kind of showed them under the document camera, but they'll actually do the activity next week. All right, so then I actually also talked to them about the different thinking maps because I love thinking maps. I was trained in thinking maps and I tried to incorporate them as best as possible. There's 8, and the way you're supposed to do them is you need to teach them the students, how to create it themselves so that it becomes student-owned, just like the CRIS strategies. So I started telling them about the 6 that I usually use out of the 8. I don't use the brace map too much and I don't use the bridge map too much, but I use these. So we have the circle map for defining, for word definitions or defining a concept or a word. We have the multi-flow map, which is good for cause and effect. The tree map, which is good for categorizing. Double bubble, which you saw for compare and contrast. The flow map, which is for sequence. Then we have the bubble map, which is good for finding adjectives for a particular subject or person. And down here, I showed them like an example of what a bridge map will look like. It's good for analogies. So I told them mockingbird is to bird, as dolphin is to, and then they had to figure out that it was mammal. So that's what we did. And yeah, I went over Roy G. Biv because I like to use colors on the differences of a bubble map. And these 2 colors make a new color in the middle for the similarities. And that's what you saw in my example. And this beautiful drawing is brought to you by Nani. You know, the funny thing is, this is pure coincidence. They came in this morning, they saw this on the board, and I also brought my basketball hoop, my over-the-door basketball hoop that I use for my math review games or for just review games. It's not just for math, like for Grudge Ball or for the basketball transformation that I did last year. And I have placed it up here by the math board because if I put it on the door doesn't completely close. So it was there. And they were like, whoa, what's happening? There's someone with a basketball on the board and there's a basketball hoop in the back and what's going on? They're so curious. And I told them, well, I usually do that for review games. Not that we're doing one today, but it was at home. That's where I kept it and I needed to bring it to the classroom and that's what happened. But anyway, their curiosities were perked. So that's all I have to share with you for Friday and for this 3-day vlog. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. If you did, don't forget to hit the, what is it? I forgot what to say. Okay, if you did, don't forget to, okay. Wow. I'm fried. I'm so tired. So if you like coming along with me, don't forget to hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos and hitting that bell because you'll be notified. And I hope you have a beautiful, magical day. Don't forget to smile.
Hello dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you because you are capable of great things. See you next time.